Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Spider-Man retro-carded Scarlet Spider. Let's get into it! Let's begin our clone hijinks with a look at the packaging. And here we have my favorite Marvel Comics logo, Spider-Man. 4 and up. Spider Clone. That's his action feature. And then there we have some nice artwork of Scarlet Spider on the billboard that we are used to. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Nice big blister showcasing the figure and his accessories. Hasbro print down here in the corner. Then on the back, we have again my favorite Marvel Comics logo, Spider-Man Marvel. And then we have some nice line art, uncolored, well, it's sort of colored. Line art showing, you can swap his hands out, and then the same artwork from the front for Scarlet Spider. And then here it says, Peter Parker's clone and eventual ally, Ben Reilly, returns to New York to defend the city as the web-slinging Scarlet Spider. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Hasbro print. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole that do not belong there. Small fine, legalese made in China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. And the barcode also recycled. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, handy dandy tweezers. Let's take a look at the accessories. He does come with 2 thwip hands on, well, the way you have to aim this hand, it's up and down, but really it's in and out hinges. And there's 2 of these. I'm sure we've seen these before, most notably and most likely with the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. These may even possibly come from Pizza Spidey. I'm not sure if they made new hands for Renew Your Vows Spider-Man or not. But regardless, nice molded details, and if they're that old, they still work. And by that old, I mean Pizza Spidey old. So, there goes 2 thwip hands on in and out hinges. And then 2 wall crawler hands. Again, these may have come with Pizza Spidey. I do not recall. I didn't pull the hands out to compare just the hands, but on in and out hinges. These are on in and out hinges as well. And, nice molded details. If they're as old as Pizza Spidey, again, they still hold up, and I can see why they still use them. So, very nice. And that's it for his accessories. Let's take a look at the figure itself. It looks like most everything is molded in this red plastic. On the head, we've got these nice big paint apps for the eyes, or perhaps inkjet, possibly. Not sure. And you can see in the mold in there, he's got the angry face going on under his mask. You can see the brow lines a little bit where they're furrowed. And then got some nice molded detail in this hoodie overlay, I guess. I'll start to say sweatshirt, and I'm sure I will say sweatshirt again. But it's a hoodie, and nice molded details in it. It's not soft goods. It is slightly rubbery, but not to a really bad degree. Got a nice tampo on here for the Spider logo, and that's on the front and back. The hood piece seems to be a separate piece. It is glued in the back, it feels like, unless it's just pegged in. No, it is glued in on the back, and I actually thought that was all one molded piece. I didn't realize it was a second piece, but it is until just now. I just realized that. So paint apps, the white strings for the paint apps. Then we've got a separate piece here for the belt, which looks like it's got a bunch of little silver paint apps on it, and the paint apps do go all the way around. Nice silver paint apps, it looks like, on the web blasters, web shooters, and they're silvery cartridges. And I don't think it's molded in the silver plastic. I don't see. No, I take it back. It's molded in silver because I can see some of the swirls and the twirls in there. But this looks like the silvers are paint apps. Yeah, because I see a little bit of slop there. And then on the pouches, ankle pouches, they're all molded in this. I think is it brown? I don't know. I'm colorblind. Don't make fun of handicapped people. But it's got some nice silver paint apps for the buckles here and the fastener here on this side, and that holds true on both sides. Now, as far as his articulation goes, if you have the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man or any of them on that body since then, who else has been on that body? Daredevil. Then you pretty much know how the articulation works. He can look up that high, and I really wish that they would switch this to a ball and hinge. You really would get more range of motion out of it, and it would look better, not so gappy as all this. That's very gappy looking. That's the one flaw I can think of in this mold. Now he does have butterflies in the shoulder. Goes back that far. Goes forward a little bit, and it's hindered somewhat by this. Either that or I don't have it loosened up enough. But let's see. On this side feels much looser. It'll go back that far, and it will go forward that far. So maybe that's it. It's just not loose on this side. So back that far, and it still feels like it's sticking. So I may have to dip him in some hot water. But regardless of that, arm does raise up at the shoulder just past 90 degrees. Cut at the upper bicep for a full 360 degrees of rotation. A double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. Fist, 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on the other side as well. Now it has a classic, well, I'll say classic. It has the inverted ab hinge, so that can allow him to lean back that far and forward that far. But it doesn't give him a waist cut. What he has instead, and I forgot from looking at the other molds of this figure, or the other molds that this figure uses, is there is a cut where the chest and the abdomen meet, and it's got like a ball joint in it. So it can spin 360 degrees there, and he can lean left and right and lean forward and back slightly with that without using this inverted ab hinge. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits. Really would help if he had a pull down hinge there, Hasbro. Kicks forward approximately 90 degrees and backwards about a step, maybe a little more than a full step. Cut at the upper thigh, full 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. There is a boot cut on the upper mid shin, and it gives you another 360 degrees of rotation. Now these pouches get in the way a little bit of the ankle articulation, so you have to make sure they're moved up into position all the way. And at the ankle, tilts down that far. And now it wants to stick. There we go. Tilts up that far. So really good forward and back tilt. And forward facing pin for rocker. And of course, he also has toe tilt. And the toes tilt up that far, and they tilt down that far. As far as accessory storage, there is none because it's just hands. And that, my friends, is a look at Scarlet Spider and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Spider-Man retro carded Scarlet Spider next to the old 2001 Toy Biz Spider-Man Classics Scarlet Spider and the Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 2-pack Spider-Man. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Spider-Man retro carded Scarlet Spider, with our final Marvel Legends comparison making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man retro carded Scarlet Spider, I have to say, I have not updated the Scarlet Spider since the Spider-Man Classics line from Toy Biz. And I don't think, it has nothing to do with liking or not liking the character. It's a kind of a simple and cool design, kind of like the symbiote costume. And, it works for what they were trying to do at the time in the 90s. But for some reason or another, I missed when they released them, whether they were sold out or I just couldn't find it, or I didn't particularly like that version of the character. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad I waited and I got it on the more articulated Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body. I think all Spider-Man figures should, have this level of articulation, if not more articulation in them. The sweatshirt hoodie thing, it's a product of the time. It's from the 90s. And again, at the time, it worked. And, it was a thing at the time, and they had to figure out some way to get the spider logo on him. And he picked this up at a museum while he was going to stop some criminals, and at least that's the way I remember it. But anyway, I do like, the red and the blue. Of course, that's classic Spider-Man colors, so they had to work that blue in there somewhere. And the nice big eyepieces on this figure. And of course, he's got pouches, because who didn't have pouches in the 90s other than regular Spider-Man? He didn't have any visible pouches, but anybody who was created new pretty much had pouches. And I like the fact that, his web slingers, his web shooters are on the outside of the costume rather than under it like the traditional Spider-Man. And also his extra web cartridge belt, Spider-Man kept that under his costume where it wasn't visible, and I like the look of this. And that keys into the style at the time where everybody had pouches and belts and whatnot. And so I like it. The paint on this, there's not a whole lot of paint going on, but what there is very nice. And if I had to put one negative on this figure, it's basically not this figure per se, but this mold. You know, I would have liked them to have fixed the neck joint on this so that he could look up even further than what he actually can, and not have the gapping issue, and it work really like it's supposed to. I know I like the dumbbell. They really should have, you know, it's weird to say this, but they should have done the hinge and swivel neck on this body. I think it would have gotten more articulation, or more range of movement out of the articulation rather. But I guess that's for the future. But this is a great version of the character. I'm finally, you know, I'm glad I finally got to update that figure, because that old Toy Biz Spider-Man Classic one is really showing his age. And, you know, if I have to say one advantage that one has over this particular version is, you know, he does have soft goods, but then again, the hood doesn't lay very well on it, so there is that. But again, I like this figure. I'm glad I finally updated him, and I'm glad to have a Scarlet Spider in my collection. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.